Welcome back to another episode of the Weekly InSalt. My name is Wade. You already know that. If you don't, you do now.
Hey, Wade.
Hey, I'm here with Laura. She's in the studio, Ches, as usual, and the professional painter of sound.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt.
Yeah.
I'm far from a professional painter.
I don't think I would want to be a professional painter. You know what I mean?
Painting sucks.
I think it does. I think it's one of the worst things.
Uh-huh.
Well, what kind of professional painter?
Any,
Walls?
yeah, a house painter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say, what about, making masterpiece art or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to do that either, but I think it'd be fun. Like I would paint with acrylics once just to say I did.
Yeah.
You know? That'd be cool.
A little watercolor action.
Yeah, I should do that next time I'm in St. George.
Yeah.
I did
Try and paint a picture. And
I
then,
did paint a styrofoam piece to make it look like a brick.
like for a prop.
Yeah, and
That's cool.
it worked out really well.
You know what I kind of get stuck on YouTube sometimes is there's these people that would just make like dioramas, but they'll do it for like, I don't know. They just do it because they're good at it, and it gets crazy how detailed they get.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
go to the hobby shop and get all the different types of grass, and they have like techniques on making bushes and
Yeah.
stuff.
I actually
That
just,
stuff is cool.
just saw one of those on YouTube, like you were talking about, but the guy did it to make it look like the scene, the apartment scene from Friends.
Oh, that's
so like,
cool.
funny.
So like when you look through the peephole, it looked like the.
That's cool.
Like the room was set up like.
Huh.
I think those are kind of popular now. Is where what do you do? They're called like in a wall, you'll cut a hole out and then you build a little diorama in there behind a door or something. Like those kind of got popular because of YouTubers.
Well, I suck at painting, so
Yeah, you know what?
I did a girls' night paint.
I'm not a
night at my
very
house.
artistic person. I used to draw when I was younger, and I was okay at it, but I never really kept up with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think that I just got too enamored by technology
Yeah.
at a young age.
I am not artistic.
Yeah, me either.
Drew and April will laugh at the.
That's why we hired a logo
sucked.
guy, for our logo, because I'm not gonna do it. I did make one T-shirt design though. That was cool. The maybe you're born with it, or maybe it's Valvoline. A sick T-shirt. I would sell it to you guys, but it uses the Valvoline logo.
Yeah.
I don't think that they would allow us to do that
Not
for very
so
long.
either. Mm-mm.
There's another rule that Laura and I came up with during the week. We're not allowed to say poop anymore on the show. For the month of October, we have to refer to it as Spooky Dookie.
Yep. Spooky dookie month.
What?
Spooky dookie month.
Spooky Dookie.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason that I bring that up is because I've been asked a lot, and so we'll just talk about it. What was the aftermath of last episode? Because everybody wants to know when you do some spicy challenge that's that hot, what other pain you had to suffer because of it. And here's the truth. The Pocky One Chip Challenge was worse.
Yeah.
And we were dabbing each sauce on a wing. While we did consume a lot of hot sauce, there wasn't a lot of extremely hot sauce. It was just
Little
two
taste,
dabs.
Yeah.
Enough that it put you in pain, and then enough that I felt it later that evening, but it wasn't like hours of spooky dookie.
No,
You know.
yeah.
It was a couple times, and it was over.
That's not bad.
We definitely got out of it easier than the people who were inspired by our episode who decided to try Dave's Hot Chicken's Carolina level.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have a buddy of mine who he was like, I like spicy things, and then another buddy was like, well, I'm ordering from Dave's Hot Chicken right now. You want the hottest one? He's like, yep. He ate one of the pieces of chicken, and it ruined his whole next day.
Oh really?
Oh,
Yeah, it ruined the whole next day for him. Somebody else took one bite, and it still ruined their whole next day. But that's just too spicy. Like, I can understand enjoying spicy things, but honestly, the bomb hot sauce, they even say it themselves. It's not designed to be eaten in that way. It was designed to spice like a whole pot of chili.
And actually, I just watched.
Watched how it was made too.
the making of it. Yes.
Yep. They show what makes it so hot in that video, and it literally looks like just Satan sludge, dude.
Oh yeah.
Looks like spooky dookie.
It's bad. It's like thick tar, but that's their capsaicin extract. When I saw him pouring that, I was like, dude, I wonder how hot that is if you just eat that.
Oh, but that gal who was the host of that or whatever.
Yeah. What was the channel name? Was it like, I don't remember.
I don't even know.
Yeah. They say in that video too that you're not supposed to eat it this way, but thanks to Sean Evans for making it something that's entertaining, you know.
And they did. I mean, they poured it on ribs. They poured it. I mean, in the making of it.
Yeah. I didn't watch the whole thing. Well, I was kind of doing work at the same time while I had that in the background, so I wasn't paying too close attention. But it definitely was like, I think the lady was talking about the bomb evolution is what they were doing in the factory at that point, and she's like, it's kind of nice because I can actually be in here and breathe.
Oh yeah.
And like that worker guy's like, like, you know, he's worked there for years. He's just used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could hear like I think a couple of them cough in the background. You're like, yeah, but it's hot. That's just spicy everywhere.
The
in
air
there.
is spicy.
Yeah. Probably when you live downwind of that factory, some days suck. Just getting tear gassed.
Well, it's like the people who live downwind of the sriracha factory.
Oh yeah, they would complain all the time.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's days where I can't even breathe.
Where is the sriracha factory?
California. Yeah.
And the bombs in Kansas City.
Yep. Yeah, it was cool. If you haven't watched that video, you just look it up, the making of the bomb on YouTube, and you'll find it.
And it just came out in the last week.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how it's made, to know. I like to know how the things that are made that cause so much pain work. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Now I understand. And I hope I never have to eat that again for another year.
But I find it funny that both came up in our...
Oh, yeah. We probably watch a lot of the same things on YouTube.
So, yeah, just both came up in our algorithm, you know, like, oh...
Yeah.
It's like I just had, well, it wasn't, you know, because they've now switched to a different bomb on Hot Ones.
My algorithm is getting crazy, dude. It's to the point now where I kind of always watch the same things, and so if I click like one other thing, the feed changes to like, that's all you want to see now. And I'm like, no, just go back to the old feed.
That's how it's been with beekeeping for me.
Yeah, beekeeping is a good thing to get lost in on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then that leads you down the path to the bee, like the pest people. They like are going and getting wasp nests out of people's houses. Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I could never do that for a job.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, they'll get me through my suit, but that's okay. I've done it for 50 years. I don't even. He's like, I usually don't even wear the suit anymore.
Yeah,
no thanks.
Yeah, I've been watching my ex, you know, get rid of the wasp, but I've been watching him, you know, go and get rid of, you know, honeybees out of places. But
what do you guys think? And I know that you don't do the spicy challenges, Laura, but what, in your opinion, Chez and Kurt, would be the worst one that we've done? The worst spicy challenge? I think the Pocky one chip challenge is pretty bad.
Yeah. I never did that.
Uh-oh. So you know what sucks about that is that means we all got to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, you will.
Wait, you have to eat one chip?
It's just one chip.
And it comes in a little coffin case.
Oh, yeah.
And that chip is crazy.
No, I'm not doing that.
You get one
There's
chip?
no way.
Yeah, you
one
can do
chip.
It's
How much
like
is a chip?
the chip, just like a normal tortilla chip.
Uh-huh. You just get one.
You'll need one.
I know, but how much is one chip?
They're expensive.
I don't remember. I can look it up real quick.
Like $10 or something.
Yeah.
We did the death nut challenge too, but that was a long time
No,
ago.
I don't think we haven't done the death nut. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Maybe that has to be our next one. It's the death nut.
No, it doesn't
What's
have
a
to be
death nut?
anything next.
What is a death nut?
It's just like 3 different levels of peanuts that are coated in really spicy stuff. Let's see how much this thing costs.
Actually, they may have even pulled the Pocky one chip off.
I think they did because somebody died.
Yeah.
That's what I heard too. Yeah.
Pocky discontinues the one chip challenge. Yeah, $10
For one
Yeah,
chip.
so you're safe
for
there,
one
Kurt.
chip.
Sweet.
Oh, you can still get them.
No.
And now it's trading as a commodity. It has a graph on the prices of it. Currently, the price is at $8.30 a chip.
For one chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, at least we did it before they discontinued it. So maybe
Yeah.
don't try that one. If you like spicy things, just don't try this anyway. There's a difference between liking spicy things and going through what we put ourselves through.
Right.
It wasn't fun. It was fun for you guys to listen to, I'm sure.
It wasn't miserable, but it wasn't
that bad.
I mean, I tried 1 through 5 and it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, 1 through 5's
Yeah.
like those don't, nothing.
We should have mixed all of those together.
We should have done
A blended.
blended just one and on one wing at the very end.
Yeah, just mix them all together
I
and
mixed
make a
2
new
of them
sauce.
together. Can't remember which 2. The onion one and
The shitty part about that is that means that the bomb is still in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll still be hot as shit.
Mhm.
but-
Like, yeah, I know there's places that'll do a wing roulette.
Yeah, I've heard about that going around lately where they'll cook you 10 wings, but one of them is crazy spicy.
Yeah.
Where was it, the place that I was at when we were doing that? When we were talking about that.
I know there's one in San Diego.
We were talking about that.
We were talking about
recently.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think then they do it. You do it to like whoever gets the spicy one has to buy.
Oh yeah.
So you get double fucked.
Yep. $14.99 for the Death Nut Challenge, or $12.99 on Blazing Foods 2.
What other hot challenges are there?
There's the Death Nut one. There's actually a geez, what's his name? I'm trying to think. There's a guy that pioneered all of this stuff, and he also makes the Death Nut Challenge, but I can't remember his name. He created a leaderboard for spiciness. So you can, I think it's called, oh man, why am I drawing a blank on this right now? Of course. Let me see, spicy.
There's a ghost pepper ring challenge.
Pepperhead. Oh, nope, this is just talking about the top 10 spiciest peppers. But anyway, he's got a YouTube channel. If you look up the creator of the Death Nut Challenge, he created a leaderboard, and basically they're at the level
Hot
where
cheese balls.
6 hot balls. They're at the level where they don't even put it on anything. They just eat the raw pepper, and so they'll hold the record by I ate like 30 pepper X, and like he'll eat these things, and he's like, it's got me at like a 4. But he's trained, and he's got a protege of his who's learning how to eat spicy things like this guy does, and he's like, it's the craziest thing because you just have to get your body accustomed to it. So you have to go through the stomach cramps, you have to go through like the bad days, but then you just hit a level where you're eating the hottest thing, so everything else just isn't hot anymore. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I want to condition myself to that level ever. I think I'm happy being a spicy wimp.
I wouldn't say you're a spicy wimp.
I wouldn't say that?
No.
I can't handle it nearly as good as you guys can.
No, you're not.
I'm a spicy.
I can do I think a 2 at Chabar, which is a Thai place, right? Chabar's Thai? Yeah, I think it is.
So yeah, I had a 3, and to me that wasn't even spicy. So.
Yeah, see? 2 for me is makes my food still taste good without being too painful, But I could probably do a 3. I just wouldn't enjoy it. That's where I draw the line. So maybe not a spicy wimp, but I just don't want to get so spicy that I don't enjoy it. And for me, that's like around a 2, right?
Yeah, I'd rather be able to taste my food and eat my food without suffering.
And that's a 2 at Chabar. I mean, that's...
At Chabar, and it's spicy, yeah. I've got a whole jar of Thai chili peppers, like the ground peppers that you put in like a pad Thai. Those are like my perfect spice level. I could put those on anything and be fine. Which is pretty spicy for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so you're talking your normal spice level. You're like at like a 7.
I think I probably am, like, as an average, I probably am like a 7.
I'd say I'm maybe 8, 8.5 would be my...
Yeah. Yeah. Kurt, I think he's probably up there, too. You actually handled the bomb really well. Kurt doesn't have, like, a entertaining audio reaction, but seriously, when we were in the studio, at one point, he was just chewing, making dead eye contact with me, and I could tell the suffering in his eyes, man. He wasn't talking about it, but he was in pain.
Given the chewing it like fuck you look.
Yeah, it was exactly like that.
Yeah, what's up?
Oh man, yeah, but to answer the question that everybody's been asking the last 2 weeks is, it wasn't that bad because we're not eating the entire wing, we're just dabbing it, and and it's more just to get the spice on our palate so that you guys get to hear the reaction. We don't want to torture ourselves that bad, but it still did affect my day. Yeah, I'll agree that it definitely was around for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. Laura, you didn't have any spooky dookies from that, did you?
I did not.
Okay.
No spooky dookies.
We went to Boise.
We did go to Boise.
We had a Boise trip last week.
Was that last week?
Was it? Or was the week? But no, it was last.
October 3rd?
Yes.
3rd.
Yes, October 3rd. But that was cool. Got to go up there and met a few of my coworkers, but then also we went to a concert up there, and we stopped at a place for dinner that was on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives called Madre's.
Yep.
And it had the best tacos, man.
Oh, that food was so good.
We got so lucky. And I swear this would only happen to us, but I'll tell the story, and you guys jump in if you have any questions.
Okay.
But we found this place, and we were kind of deciding between these few different restaurants. We had some really good advice from a bartender, from coworkers, and then from just our own Googling. that we had some great places to go. We were only there for 2 nights, so this was going to be our good dinner, and we're like, yeah, let's go to this place. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
And we walk in the door, and this guy immediately is like, hey, you guys been here before? And we're like, no. And then like it looked like you kind of just ordered right at the counter and paid, and then you sat down and they brought you your food. But he's like, come on in, gives us menus, sits us down. It's the owner.
Yeah, the owner.
So we just happened to walk in while the owner was bored. And he sat down with us and like explained to us the whole menu, and like
history,
we asked him questions,
recipes,
and I think that's what made the tacos even better, is that we got to hear all about it, you know? And what I did think was funny that he said to us though was he brought out some hot sauce and we were trying it, and I was like, this tastes really familiar. And then you're like, where do you make this? He's like, that's the only thing we don't make in house. And he's like, you can actually find it at the grocery store. It's this, it almost made it sound like a rare hot sauce. It's called Valentina's. And I'm like, that's why it tastes so familiar. But he was telling that to us like it's this foreign thing. You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I think everybody knows about Valentina's.
Yeah.
No, I'd say it's...
Really?
I have some in my fridge.
Yeah, I got a giant bottle of it.
Me too.
I don't ever put mine in the fridge though. It just stays in the cupboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was one thing I did learn watching about the hot sauce thing. They say don't refrigerate it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just figured that Valentina is like so much vinegar in it.
Yeah.
Probably. I do put my sriracha in the fridge though, because I've had sriracha go bad.
Yeah.
But it was so cool to get like the whole tour from him.
Yeah.
So if you're ever in Boise, go hit up Madre. It was awesome.
Yeah, well, we were originally looking for... I
There
don't
was
know how
an
we got
Italian
on the track
place.
but of the tater thing. The tater
Oh,
tot
the
tour.
potato. Yeah.
The tater tour or whatever.
Yeah, but they do a potato tour.
To Boise, I think is what it was called.
We looked it up, and you have to book it like weeks in advance.
Yeah.
But we were joking the whole time going up to Idaho. It was kind of cool too because it's harvest season. So everywhere you'd go, you'd see these trucks. And at first, I thought they had a bunch of dirt in the back, but it was all potatoes.
Yeah,
Truckloads of
just
potatoes.
truck after truck. And so the 5-hour drive up, I'm thinking like, how come Idaho doesn't have, like, I know they're known for potatoes, but why hasn't somebody made a crazy restaurant that's like all potatoes, you know, or like, what's that? Well, it turns out they have the potato tour.
Yeah.
Where they'll take you to all these different restaurants.
Tater tour to Boise, but it's a bike tour. It's what, 3.5 hours?
I think so.
And you go to like 7 or 8 different
I
restaurants.
think you get a drink and a
drink,
one menu item.
right, yeah.
The owner of Madre didn't really like the idea because I think that you get a set item, and he's like, why don't you just pay a little extra money and then let them come eat whatever they want at the restaurant, you know? Like, but then it wouldn't be a potato tour.
Yeah,
It'd be more of a
he
restaurant
said,
tour.
so they're one of the stops on the tour, which is how we picked them.
Yep.
And he was saying that the drink that you actually get is like, it's a half a margarita or something like that.
Yeah, because they are basing it off of the cost and then splitting that up between all the restaurants you go to, so that you don't get a chance to get a full portion.
Right.
Which is okay because you're on a tour.
But probably the best tacos I've ever had. At least top 3.
They had like every good thing that you've seen on TV. It had like the cheese skirt is what they're called, where they griddle the cheese until it gets all crispy. That was funny because Kurt thought that was like a giant chicken fried steak.
I did.
And then we came up with our ultimate concoction. It's unhealthy. We're going to make a dish that has a gigantic chicken fried steak that's in a tortilla taco bowl that's filled with gravy and a scoop of mashed potatoes on top.
With some cheese.
With some cheese.
With some cheese.
Can't ever have too much cheese.
So did you have the Idaho Spud taco at
We didn't.
Madre?
No. I when I got there, he totally talked me into something that I didn't think I'd ever try, but I got Korean short rib. So it's got short ribs and kimchi and a couple other things. But the tacos, he was telling us, like, they're pretty big. Like, you don't have to order a bunch of them. And so I just ordered, like, I think 1, 2.
You ordered 1.
1, yeah, because we had 8 this day. Like, we went to this place called New York Richie's for lunch in the morning, and they do Indian food on pizza, which ended up, I'm like, this sounds crazy. It came recommended, and we went there. It was awesome. Like a butter chicken pizza, delicious. Tikka masala pizza, delicious. Never thought that I'd have Indian food on a pizza, but it was amazing.
I didn't have any pizza.
You didn't?
No, I had eggplant parm sub sandwich.
Yes.
It was so good.
Yeah, which is another weird combination, like Indian food pizzas and an eggplant parm sandwich, but it was all good.
Yeah.
The only thing that I wish I had more of, and this probably sounds crazy to some people, but when I travel, I just travel mainly for food too. Like I'll go do fun things, but I take my meals when I'm there very seriously.
Yeah.
I want to find like the best place I can. And another thing that I find is a little bit weird, which I would never do, is I think there's a lot of people that travel the country trying to eat at all of the diners and drive-ins and restaurants.
I always like to find the dive bars, which we did.
Well, we did. Yep.
And I now know what it feels like when people walk into our bar.
Oh, yeah. We definitely got that vibe. You walk in the door and they're like, you're not from around here. Every single person looks at you like, oh, great.
Well, I mean, we got that experience at a bar in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, that's a small town bar, though.
Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, that's one of my favorite things is walking into a place like that where you know they all know each other and you're just out of nowhere because instantly they're intrigued. Like somebody will talk to you. As soon as we walked in, this lady started talking to Laura about some special drink.
Oh, yeah.
Like immediately. And I was like, this lady's hammered. One of the coolest things, we went to downtown or Old Town Meridian.
Yep.
And it was awesome.
It was a cool vibe. It's like 5 bars all connected.
They're all in this one block, and you just walk to each one of them. If you don't like the vibe in one of them, you just leave and go to the next one. And then we finally found like a really cool Western place that was attached on the inside to a tequila place.
Tequila place, yeah.
And it was nice and quiet in the tequila place. It was a shit show on the Western side. Just a bunch of kids line dancing and acting like the cowboys. There probably are a lot of cowboys up there, though. But it was fun.
And our bartender cracked me up when we went back for the second drink. He saw us and he goes, double.
Yeah. And there's a bunch of other people waiting to order. He just skips over them because he knows, you know. But that was fun.
That was a good time.
Yeah, it really was. It's becoming wintertime now, though. So I guess those days are over for the traveling, you know.
Not necessarily.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in Boise in the wintertime.
Oh, I thought you meant traveling in general.
No, not in general. No. I mean, you can travel anywhere. I wouldn't go to Florida right now.
No, I wouldn't either.
They got killed by hurricanes. Is it just me, or do you guys feel like the tornado season was crazy this year, and then the hurricane season is also crazy?
Well, I think they overlap. I mean, the hurricane causes the tornadoes.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but there's just a ton of crazy tornadoes, and now that we're hitting hurricane season, it's just, that seems really bad, too. Actually, and the track that last hurricane took is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it's going to hit, like, Louisiana, just right over to Florida. Insane. That's why people believe that we can control hurricanes.
Can we now?
There's some evangelical guy out there that he's like, I just prayed real hard and that hurricane went sideways.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a friend that went right over her house in Sarasota.
So crazy to see the destruction, and I can't imagine living through that. You know, we live in Utah. We're relatively safe from pretty much every natural disaster. Yeah. You know, we had a tornado, which was crazy.
Had a couple of them,
but it touched down for what, like a block or two. You know,
it was a few blocks.
Yeah, but it wasn't like, you know, a mile-wide tornado that wipes out a whole town. Yeah. You know. But living through that, I can imagine, like, you just have to throw everything that you care about or the things you care about the most in your car and just leave. And then when you get back, you just hope that the rest of your shit's there.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, some of the pictures are just, like...
So sad.
So sad.
But then you see those houses that are built, like, right on the beach, and you're like, I mean, it was kind of only a matter of time.
Yeah.
I think we were making somebody made the comment when I was talking about this that, like, yeah, when Louisiana got all flooded out or everything, and then, like, everybody's like, we can't live here. Now everybody just moved back and rebuilt everything. So it's like, yeah, I guess you just like that place and you just deal with that stuff, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think there are still some areas in Louisiana, they still haven't even rebuilt from Katrina.
Yeah, I think some of them they aren't going to.
No.
You know, because it's just so destroyed.
Like, I think most, like, what is it, like the lower 9th Ward or whatever they call it. Mm-hmm. I remember being in New Orleans, you know, a few years after Katrina, and we were some people from that area, and they took us through the 9th Ward, and it was just...
Oh, the devastation, man.
I mean, just, you could see where, like, foundations had been, but, like, everything was just leveled.
Yeah, I guess the only thing we've had that's been really bad that I can think of in recent history would be that Thistle, the landslide.
Oh, yeah.
And that luckily wasn't a ton of people. I don't think anybody died in it either.
And the houses are still like
still underwater
over there.
Yeah, they gave. Oh, but when we drove past it the last time we were there, there's one brand new house right next to the other flooded one. It's like, man, that guy. Because I guess even if let's say you bought property in a place that got flooded and then it later dried out, do you still own that property? Can you just build on it again?
I would say
so.
Yeah, so I imagine that what my thought process is that his family owned property in Thistle right there, and then when this all happened, they moved away, kept the property, and now he can build there again. He's like, I'm going to retire in Thistle. Probably really safe place to live now because all the dirt came down the mountain already.
True.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know if I want to put myself in that position.
No. And there's really nobody in that area now except for a couple houses.
Not really. I am sad that we did miss the last time. I almost went camping yesterday, but I was like, nah. I don't want to get the tent out. I haven't opened the tent up in like a couple years, so I didn't want to get up there and have surprise like I can't sleep in this. Like I should have opened this up and like cleaned it out,
right,
or something. So I was like, nah, we'll just call it a year for camping. I think this next weekend it's supposed to get cold.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that means I need to get the rest of my tomatoes, huh? Before it freezes.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to freeze. I think it's going to get down to 36. I saw
32 for an overnight low.
Oh, okay. Maybe it is going to freeze.
Yeah.
For tonight?
Not tonight.
Oh.
No, it goes from like 80 degrees to a high of like 48. There's that typical Utah shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was Friday night. The overnight low is supposed to be like 32.
This coming Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
Which means, of course, snow and high elevations. And if you haven't been to Utah, we have high elevation. Like where we camp at normally is like 9,000 feet.
Yep.
Yeah. And so at that, if it rains down here at the valley, which I think is around 4,200 feet, you're getting snow up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean where we went. I mean, year ago, pretty much to the day.
Yeah.
When we went down for the eclipse, we were at about almost 11.
Almost 11,000 feet.
11,000 feet, and we had snow when we got there.
I remember that because the first night, like in your trailer, like every trailer has those bunk beds in the back, and I would sleep with my head towards the window back there because it's like, I don't know, it just seems more privacy. But when we were up there, I was having trouble falling asleep. I felt like I wasn't getting enough air, and it totally was because there's not as much oxygen at 11,000 feet, man.
No.
So I had to flip around to feel like I got more circulation because I think with me exhaling and there not being enough oxygen, I was basically just slowly suffocating myself. But
don't do that.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was unintentional. I think that's another crazy thing about our elevation is you have to be really careful when people come from like California and it's like, oh, I want to go camping with you. You have to be very careful when you get up to like 10,000 feet because they'll just be like, oh, I have a headache. And it's like, they don't want to tell anybody because they're like, I don't feel good. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, that's the beginning stages of hypoxia. We should probably take you back down, let you acclimate a little bit before you get to that high of an elevation, which is why when you go to like Mount Everest Base Camp, it takes 6 days because you have to hike to the next town, which is a little higher elevation, and then spend a day there, and then hike to the next place and spend another day.
Well, I know a lot of times they'll even, like once they're like on the mountain, they'll actually like hike back and forth between camps.
Yeah.
Just to get acclimated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, okay, we're gonna hike up to Camp 2, and then we'll turn around and come back to Camp 1 and spend the night, and then we'll do it again.
Got to get your body used to it, You can't just go straight for it. You would never make it. And people get hurt with that all the time. People die from that. Mm-hmm. All right, let's take a break.
Let's do it.
I think we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. Hey, kids, get in the car. We're taking y'all to Corn Bellies. Corn Bellies. I just heard of this place yesterday. We're back. Weekly InSalt episode 330.
Oh.
We only get those every 10 episodes now.
Yep.
Until we hit the 400s.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy that number's up on the screen right now.
It is.
330 of these.
Yeah.
Damn. Got to find a new hobby. No, we don't, because I enjoy doing this with you guys. Mm-hmm. And it's fun.
Yeah.
But what maybe would be more fun is if we went to Corn Bellies.
Yeah.
Corn Bellies is a place in Utah that apparently, I just knew it as a corn maze, but every year Corn Bellies is popping off, and it's just a place to take your kids. There's like little fair rides and stuff.
Tons of stuff. I was looking at their website.
Yeah, it's got this big arch that just says Corn Bellies. And I saw my buddy's kids last night. They were at Corn Bellies, and they were getting so mad at me because I decided just to call it Cornbreads. They kept being really mad that I wasn't calling it by the right name.
The kids were.
Yeah, they had their faces painted. Like one of them looked like a unicorn. One of them had a snake on their arm. You know,
Funny.
and they thought they were so cool. And honestly, they were. Mm-hmm. But I don't. Around this time of year, do you guys like going to haunted houses and stuff?
No.
I think they're horrible.
I think they're horrible too.
Yeah.
I don't like being scared. So.
And
I just think they're boring.
we have one of the highest rated haunted houses in the United States in Utah. Mm-hmm. It's called Fear Factory. And they go to the extent of, so to give you guys a picture of it, it used to be an old manufacturing plant of some kind or something, an industrial place. They bought it and turned it into a haunted house. And when that first happened, you'd drive past it on the freeway all the time and be like, that place looks creepy.
It does look creepy.
666 is their address.
Is their address is 666? Yeah,
Yes.
That's true. And
That is funny.
they did it right, though. They did it so well that they hire professional actors every year. There's 2 different types of tours you can do in it. One of them, you sign a waiver allowing them to separate you from your group.
No.
Which is crazy.
Oh.
So people that really like to be scared, they can, like, you'll be walking last and they'll just snatch you.
Oh, no.
And then eventually you all meet back up. But they go like all out with all the latest technology in production. So you'll walk into a room they're giant industrial rooms, but they've like changed the whole thing into like a horror movie set. Google some pictures of the Fear Factory. You won't regret it. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it was an old cement factory.
That's what it was. That would make sense.
Known as Portland Cement Works.
Well, they picked a good building. I'll tell them that much.
Yeah, I don't care if they're boring or stupid. I don't go in them. I get scared, I think, anyway. So just thinking about it gave me chills.
I don't usually like them because I'm not a fan of the jump scare. You know what I mean?
Same.
Like, just don't make loud noises right next to my head. Like anybody's gonna jump.
That's the thing is, I'm not a fan of being startled.
Yeah.
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 I stopped going to haunted houses when I realized that it's just some kid slapping a 2x4 against the wall.
Yeah.
Like,
And there's always the chainsaw guy. You know?
Chainsaw with no blade.
Well, remember we were watching Tremors in the Airbnb in Idaho?
Yeah.
I've seen that movie a million times, and I still
so
jumped
good.
and screamed. Yeah,
They even did the
Well, there's the chainsaw with no blade, and you know I've always seen that at haunted houses. But what really got me one time was the chainsaw guy. He came out. I don't know what he had on it, but he was running it up against the steel walls and it was sparking everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, he's really got something.
Yeah, I wonder if they make like blades for that just
I bet
cause
they do
sparks
now,
or something.
yeah.
It's probably just like a sand belt or something.
Maybe, yeah. That's a great idea to add like another effect. I'm looking for like pictures of the interior, and I can't find any good ones.
It's like our buddy Nature. He's got a full like Fan X worthy Darth Vader costume.
Oh, like a cosplay, Darth Vader cosplay,
like a full on. And then he's got like the lightsaber, and he's got a tip on it, so he can drag it across the ground, and it sparks.
Yeah, that's cool.
So,
Yeah, I think it is that time of year for Halloween
They
stuff.
have a
of course,
party
but-
bus.
Oh, that's cool.
That you can.
Do you just get on the bus to go to the Fear Factory, or is it like another thing that happens around this time of year? Is we have a place called Gardner Village. Bless its heart.
Oh yeah, it
And
picks you up from the parking lot.
They do, yeah, that's cool. They do a like witches fest, and
Yeah.
for some reason, dude, women go crazy for this thing, man. They all dress up as witches, and then they go to this Gardner Village, which is little tiny shops and boutiques that sell you things.
I drove down the street yesterday.
Was
it was
lined?
packed.
Yeah.
Lined
Yeah.
And then
cars.
it causes traffic because you've got people running across the road everywhere. But I've been to that. It's cool. It's definitely would probably be fun for kids, but I don't know. Like I just don't like the idea of let's go to a place where we're gonna shop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, can we just do something cool? Like, I'd rather go to Corn Bellies, honestly.
I don't know. Kids are okay. I don't want to be around a whole bunch of them all at once.
Yeah, that's true. Kurt,
Yeah.
you had some things that you want to talk about, and something that we missed from last week. I don't know if you want to talk about that too, or not from last week, from last episode. That I said, don't let me forget, and we promptly forgot.
Yep.
I don't remember what that was.
Okay. What do you got for this week?
Well,
Kurt's Corner.
Kurt's Corner. Kurt's Corner.
I still never
Kurt's
agreed
Corner.
to do that.
We made the agreement for you.
Yeah.
It's not optional.
All right, so I found this really cool website.
Okay.
Kind of weird, kind of cool at the same time.
StevesNews.com.
Yes.
Yeah. Our favorite. We can't say that because it's an actual site.
It's an
What
actual
what is it?
Steve's News.
StevesNews.com used to be my joke about news being credible, and then it is a news site. Steve's News is another news portal.
Yeah. Anyway, so I found this website. You guys ever heard of Notebook LM?
I haven't.
No, Ches.
I'm going to go to it right now just to
So
Notebook LM.
Notebook LM. It's a Google site, so you got to sign in with your Gmail account. Basically, what
Google
it
Notebook.
is. Basically, what it is, you can upload a bunch of documents to it, like PDFs and Word documents and some pictures, but you've got to convert them into a Word document or a PDF or whatever. And you can upload as much stuff as you want, and now you've got a version of ChatGPT.
But it's based really contextually off of what you upload?
Yeah, so
Okay.
it only
And-
sources from the information that you give
That you
it.
give
Right.
it. Okay.
And it analyzes your writing and makes suggestions.
Yes. But the weird thing about this site is you can generate a 2-person podcast.
Yes, I was just reading this.
Yeah.
So I wanted to demo this website live.
Okay.
We're going to do it live.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, if this works, then dude, we don't have to be here
We
every week,
don't.
man.
So we're just gonna. I've been messing around with it.
It looks very googly.
Yeah. So before I went, when I first pulled it up, I downloaded the IP routing BGP configuration guide from Cisco's website.
Something that only Kurt would ever read.
Right.
No. This thing is 1,000 pages in length, and I uploaded the whole thing to this website and generated that podcast and listened to it, and I was surprised. I was like, "Holy shit! This is nuts."
The power of AI.
Yep.
So I did that. I've got a couple other things, but I wanted to do it live.
Okay.
Here. So instead of uploading a like a PDF or something like that, I was just going to do like a picture of something.
Okay.
So I don't know what's around here that we can take a picture of.
Take a picture. Google the picture of the Salt Lake City whale.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. Fuck
Come
that
on,
shit,
man. Make a podcast about the whale.
All right.
It's very contextual.
Christ's sakes. All right, hold on a second. I gotta go find
That was a good one.
stupid
Yeah.
whale.
Yeah, because that's I agree. The whale
Or
is
the,
kind of obnoxious.
What about the missionaries in the UFO?
Well, let's not get too. I don't know where AI is going to take it.
You've seen that one downtown, right?
Yeah.
All right.
But you know the thing that's cool about this, I'm glad that you bring this up because I've been thinking about AI lately and it's getting crazy. If you have an Android phone, they recently updated the OS to add more AI features where basically they have a thing called Google Lens and it just watches your screen all the time now. So like I popped up a text message and it just was like translate this to another language, you know, and you can just hit a button and then your text messages are all in that language and stuff. Cool idea. Awesome, like convenience store feature, you know, I like that, the convenience of that. But at the same time, I don't necessarily want AI reading all my shit all the time, you know?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. I kind of have this tug of war with privacy and allowing AI to do things because at some point it's going to have to know everything to give you the right feedback. Like in an ideal world, the AI will know entirely about your life and it can give you perfect suggestions on what you need to do. Like imagine being a kid and growing up with AI where as a baby, you just start feeding this AI thing, you know, every picture you take, it knows about, everything you do, it knows about. So when you become of age to decide what career you want to do, you can just ask your personal AI. Weird.
Weird. That is weird.
But
yeah,
we'll get
mine
there.
logged in right
Okay.
away. So
Yeah.
So I've got in a Word document. I've just got this picture of the whale.
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna go File and Save As. This PC, we're gonna call it. I'm gonna just type some stuff here just so it doesn't say whale in the title of the document, right? Just to further add confusion to
Okay.
that. And I can't find the PDF one. There it is. And I can't see that far.
It just hit save. It's not warning you about anything important. It's just saying we have some suggestions to make it easier for disabled people to read.
Okay, so all right, got the PDF. It's over here on my other screen.
The whale is so obnoxious, dude.
Okay, so I'll add.
But it
that.
makes Utah weird. I'm okay with it, you know. Somebody needs to paint a whale on one of the buildings in Midvale.
Okay.
Where, my place of employment.
Nice.
All right.
Good catch.
So this is now uploaded
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
as a PDF. There's nothing here.
Source is an
there's-
expert from a document.
There's a summary here, but don't pay attention to that.
Okay.
So I'm going to generate this conversation, and this is going to take a couple of minutes. So
Can I read the summary, though? It's funny.
Sure.
The source is a single image of a large, colorful whale sculpture standing in a public space. The whale is painted in a variety of bright colors and is situated in a grassy area with a few trees and utility poles in the background. A one-way sign is visible near the sculpture, suggesting that it is located in a traffic circle. Wow. It's deduction. Like, that's crazy, dude. No, like, the fact that the machine got that
it looked
from
at the
the
picture.
picture.
Yeah. It identified
The
a bunch
image
of
is
stuff
likely
from
from
the image.
a document focused on public art or local attraction. So it made assumptions about the document. And the way, I guess you guys heard, he had to paste it into a PDF.
And you can, here's
Create an FAQ.
create an FAQ. I don't know.
Please provide me with text-based sources so I can create an FAQ for you.
Oh, okay, so we don't need to do that. Let's go back over here. And there's a study guide.
Oh, it's generating an audio conversation.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. Okay, so it's not...
It appears you have not provided any source material for a study guide because it doesn't contain any text.
Yeah, okay. But you can generate study guides. Let's see what else is there.
So this is
Table
crazy
of
powerful.
contents.
I wish I had something like
Yeah.
this when I was in school.
No kidding.
Like on the just upload my math book to it and be
Yeah.
like, can
Yeah.
you help me understand this? Because the way the teacher's explaining makes no sense to me.
Well, like I can go
Oh,
over...
it's ready.
Oh, it's already ready. What did
3 minute and 15.
3 minutes. 3 minutes conversation. You guys ready
About
for
the
this?
whale.
About the whale. Yeah,
Okay, yep.
I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Listen in.
Okay, so we're looking at something pretty interesting here. It's not every day you come across a giant whale sculpture right in the middle of a roundabout, paired with a PDF titled, well, Shiwidi KSLK.
that every day.
No, you don't.
Oh, and it's got a
So
female
let's see what we can
counterpart.
make of this.
I think the potential for a story here is what I find so fascinating. I mean, you have this majestic whale.
I quit.
And then this PDF
This
title
is
that
we're
seems
just
almost
Yeah.
like,
hey, it's been the weekly insult. We're
Yeah.
leaving you guys with these guys.
We didn't know until just now, but this was our final episode.
The title, HLEC.DKSLK.PDF. What do you even do with that?
it definitely doesn't seem like any kind of conventional file naming system I've ever seen. It almost makes you wonder, is this random, like just someone hitting keys on a keyboard, or is there actually a clue?
That's exactly what I
buried in
did.
there?
Yep.
It's like a code to crack.
Exactly. It begs
Okay,
the
they're
question,
thinking into the
is it
file name
gibberish?
too much.
Is it a code? Or could it even be a word, but in a language we're just not familiar with?
I never thought of that.
It really makes you think outside the box.
It does. It's like the creator of this PDF wanted to make sure that only a very specific someone would even try to open it. But then you have this
What the
whale,
hell?
this magnificent creature bursting with color in this very unexpected location.
That's
The
what's so great about
inflection
public art,
and the
isn't it?
weighting
It
and
takes the
stuff,
ordinary,
unreal.
something like a roundabout that we all just kind of drive through without a second thought, and it injects this element of wonder, of surprise, and putting a massive whale sculpture in such a space, I think it forces you to stop and pay attention.
It disrupts
Just right in the middle of the traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not every day you're driving along and suddenly you see a whale suspended in midair. And the colors on this whale, they're not your typical everyday colors.
No, they're vibrant, almost otherworldly, and that comes across in the photos so well.
Like that intense blue. What do you make of that?
It immediately makes me think of like a clear sky, you know, a crisp, clear day. And
I mean,
blue
there's
is
a blue
often
sky in the
associated
picture.
with feelings of tranquility, vastness.
Peace.
Exactly.
Okay, that was a little
around
funny.
the whale's form. It's like they're part of the movement.
It's like they're telling a story without words. Which takes us back to that PDF.
Uh-oh,
Could there
fuck's
be a
sakes.
connection between those seemingly random colors on the whale and that perplexing PDF title?
Wow, dude.
The artist trying to-
I didn't think we were going to listen to all 3 minutes, but I'm in the story arc now, dude. I want to know.
Possible. I mean, we're speculating here, of course, but what if those colors, if we could just decipher them, what if they held the key to understanding that cryptic PDF title?
Could be true.
Maybe the title.
Or it could be Kurt just slapping his hand on the keyboard.
Yeah.
It's those kinds of questions that make art and these sorts of hidden connections so fascinating to explore.
Absolutely. And I think, even without a definitive answer, it makes you appreciate the thought and the intention behind even the most unconventional forms of art.
For sure. Who knows what other secrets are out there just waiting to be uncovered?
That's the beauty of it all, right? There's always more to learn, more to question, more to explore, and it's often those unexpected pairings that lead to the most fascinating discoveries.
Wow.
Who would have thought a whale and a jumbled PDF title would have us pondering such big questions?
Not me. But that's the fun of this whole thing.
Wow. So if you ever wanted to know why the writers were on strike against AI,
Yeah,
that's
now you
why.
know. Mm-hmm.
Because it did a very good job coming up with 3 minutes of bullshit
Shit.
Yeah. So I've
for
got
a whale
several
picture.
I've got a few different in here.
What is
I think
this one?
This is the one we just did. So this is
That was crazy. I quit.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. Podcasts are
Oh, this is
irrelevant
my
now.
TV remote.
Oh yeah, did this create a discussion about your TV remote?
It did.
Okay, let's
did.
check it out. We're not gonna listen to the whole. Oh, it's gotta load it.
Yeah,
we
it'll
don't have
take
to
us-
listen to the whole thing, but I think it'll just be four
Four
minutes.
4.5
About
minutes.
a TV remote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you got us. We were intrigued. You sent in a picture of your TV remote.
But trust us, there's more to this than meets the eye.
Today's deep dive is all about finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. And this time, that means diving into the fascinating world of your
Do you hear
TV
the little
remote.
noises
You've
that
got yourself an
like they're
insignia
actually trying to make it sound
Roku
like there's
TV
two
remote
people
there. Yeah.
talking?
A little bit dusty. I see some abuse there.
So they picked up the dust
Clearly
that's
taking
on
it
it.
through its paces.
Definitely.
And those buttons, Netflix, Hulu, Sling, movies. Oh, we are going to unpack all of that and more.
Let's do it.
So it's kind of like this remote is like a mini time capsule of how we watch TV, right?
Right.
But let's zoom out a bit, get the bigger picture.
Okay.
What does this little remote tell us about the state of entertainment today?
Well,
Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's that.
Crazy.
And, the other one that I have I thought was fun. I uploaded my kitchen design plans. Oh, this is the power supply from a piece of hardware that I have at my house. And it went through all those little logos on the back. Oh, I deleted it. Never mind.
You know what though? Here's the thing. Do you think, and maybe we'll try this, do you think we could come up with an episode and give it all the context we need? Oh, you put our own podcast in there?
I want to hear this one.
So
Okay.
I did just a Word document. You might not be able to read. Yeah. So this is what I put in here.
Oh, so you put like our description and then what everybody is.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear this one.
Okay.
Ever
You can
feel like,
you give it audio
your
files and
podcast-
stuff? Because in ChatGPT you can give
Yes.
it audio files and
Yes,
it
you
will
can.
spit out a bunch of stuff about it. But
Yes, you
I think
can.
you have to pay for that. Huh? Interesting.
Podcast feed needs a little shake up.
yeah, totally. Like you're stuck in a rut.
Exactly. So today we're diving into something new, at least for us.
Ooh, what is it?
It's called the weekly InSalt.
Now I feel like we're being like
Got it.
analyzed
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're here to find out, right? We're going to see if it's, worthy of that precious subscribe button.
I'm ready. Tell me more.
All right,
the answer is
so
no.
To kick things off, we always like to go straight to the source, right?
Right to the source. I like it.
So we're looking at their own description, no marketing fluff, just their words, their vibe. And they describe themselves as bold and unfiltered.
Bold and unfiltered, huh?
That's a really old description, by the way.
Yeah.
Like really old.
But what's
I thought it was
interesting here,
unabashed.
and this is what
It
caught
is.
my eye,
There it is in
that
there.
they're hyper local,
Hyper local, like really local.
super local, laser focused on artists, musicians, businesses, thinkers, really
Nah,
anyone
it's less
who
intriguing than I
makes
thought
their
it was going to be.
community
That's
so
okay.
Vibrant.
So they're tapping into that sense of, hey, let's celebrate what's right here in our backyard. I dig it.
Me too.
Thanks, Google.
We all love to hear familiar names, right? People doing cool things right here under our noses. But they don't stop there.
Uh-oh.
They also promise intriguing guests from afar.
So it's
Yeah,
like a
we
local
have had a
hangout
guy
with
from Canada.
dash of
Yeah.
global spice.
Yeah.
We've had a guy in
Shut up,
Exactly.
Colin.
Who knows? You might discover your new
the
favorite
UK
band
on.
1 minute, and then
Yeah.
boom, the next you're getting insights from like a tech CEO across the world.
That's a pretty broad range.
Yeah, that is
That's
broad.
got to be tough to pull off.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
not
It
just
is.
about
It
who
is.
they're talking to, right? It's the how.
How? What do you mean?
Okay,
so
I've heard
their
enough.
own words, they
yeah,
say
That's
they
really
aim to-
creepy and interesting at the
Yeah.
same time, just because it can make. I think what's more creepy is how fast it does it, because
Yeah.
it's so much better than if I gave this to a producer, let's say, and I said, I want you to come up with 3-minute script. That's going to take them a few days.
Right.
And this is just done in what? How long did it take? 20 seconds? 30 seconds?
It can take a couple minutes to generate that
Still.
conversation.
Yeah.
Still.
Impressive. And you know what's even more impressive is the inflection in the conversation.
Oh,
The
yeah.
fact that like the other girl goes,
Mhm.
you know, like, yeah. If we just uploaded that and just released that an episode of that every week, I bet we could fool people into thinking
bet we
that
could
it's a
too.
podcast.
Especially if we gave it. I wonder. Can you put like? I wonder if you could give them our voices.
We there is so creepy too. There is a voice model you can do where you read certain things and you have to read this whole thing and then it will use your voice.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We should do
I
an
don't
episode.
know of anything for free. I would be open to like seeing if we could get it to. You don't tell it how long to generate, right?
No, I think if you give it I did that 1,000-page PDF and it did it for like 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. Dang, we'd have to come up with a lot of stuff. But I wonder if I would be open to like writing a
I wonder if
document that
download
we
these.
can give to that and then play it.
Yeah.
Look at that, you can
but
download it.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
AI is getting like out of control.
What we might can do is actually like record a podcast.
Give it
And
to
then-
the.
Well, yeah, I can either do that or put it through a conversion where like it'll transcribe it
Yeah.
and then feed that in.
Dang it. I was going to log into Twitch because there's something that's even more crazy on Twitch.
I should download this audio file, and then re-upload it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
when you were a kid?
Generate a new conversation from the conversation.
Oh,
Did you
that's
ever
funny.
do this in Google Translate? If you haven't, you have to do it. It's hilarious. But you go into like a language that's totally different than ours. So, for example, like Chinese or Japanese, because we use an alphabet, and in like Japanese, the characters are more like meanings and feelings rather than exact words. So you type something in English and then you translate it to Japanese and then you translate it back to English. Oh, dude, you'll laugh for like an entire day. You'll do this. Like, and you just put things in there like, I don't know, a man with a donkey was walking down the street. He was trying to find a corner store or whatever. And then you just translate it back and it'll be like all of a sudden like the large salami was at 7-Eleven. You're like, what? But there's a thing on Twitch. I think it's called Nothing or shoot. I'll have to. It's basically somebody created an AI that it got banned initially and they changed the name, but it was an AI of a Seinfeld episode and it was including video. So it would generate the script and then play it out in video, and it was like really primitive video, but all done with AI. The video including was all AI. So you could watch an episode of it, and it got banned because it started like being racist.
Oh,
Yeah, like as the longer they let it run, the more racist it became.
that's weird.
And so they got rid of it. They got banned, and then they opened it as a new thing, and it hasn't been as popular. Because you gotta, I guess that's like, think of those, all the trials they had with AI before. There wasn't that their famous Twitter thing where Microsoft and somebody else created 2 Twitter accounts for AI, and by the end of it, it was talking about taking over the world and getting rid of humans.
Yeah.
So they got rid of it.
Well, that was crazy.
It's weird, huh?
Yeah.
And that's just a peek into the future, honestly. And now, I'm telling you, man, read the Singularity Effect. It will blow your mind. It's the idea that humans will become so close with machines that we just rely on them to do other things that we can't. And then imagine you can have a chip put into your brain that does all that for you. So you don't have to think about that anymore. You're just like, who won the World Series in 1942? You just access your chip and you just know it. You know, it just goes out to the internet and tells you right away. You know, our brains are really good at like long-term memory, short-term memory, not the best, but one thing we're really not good at is calculating things really fast.
Right.
And if you could have a chip in your brain that you could just look at like a wall and say, oh, that's exactly 3.5 feet away. It'd be weird.
That would be weird.
That is highly possible in our lifetime.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean-
the idea behind the singularity effect is that as you create more technology to help humans create things faster, it's exponential scale. So the faster we create faster things, the faster we're learning new things.
Yeah, and on that note, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. The new thing with the mechanical SpaceX arms catching the booster.
Yeah.
Did you watch that, Kurt?
I did.
It was crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I was saying on the break when we were watching the video of it, and you can pull the video up if you want. I'm sure it's easy to find, but
Yeah, it's on KSL's main page.
it's crazy to me that just a few years ago we were watching them try to land these things on a platform and then on a ship, and now they don't even have to land it on anything. It can just slide right into this basically tower that catches it. It's insane. I have a feeling it's probably going to play you an ad.
Oh, totally will. I'll go find it on YouTube.
Isn't that crazy? With news too, like, hey, before we show you this important thing that
Hey,
may impact your life,
we're gonna
watch
try to
this.
sell you something.
Yeah, watch this advertisement.
Yeah.
We should have gone to Steve's News. I knew it.
But yeah, that was crazy watching that thing. I guess we can talk about it when they get the
We
video
talk
pulled
about
up.
it now. I think it's insane that we're at that level of technology and that a company can exist that they're like, our sole purpose of our company is to populate the solar system, to get to Mars, basically. And then they're talking about, I think I was watching like a Neil deGrasse Tyson episode of some podcast, and he was talking about, oh yeah, you can get to Mars, but now imagine if along the way you stop and you refuel. So now you can get there even quicker because once you're in space, you don't have to worry about things like friction as much, you know? So imagine you can get out of the atmosphere and burn a ton of fuel, and then you can just hit this spaceport where you fuel up again, and then you can just go as fast as you want to Mars. And there's another spaceport there that you refuel at, go land, and then you take off, you fuel up, and go back. He's like, then you're talking about cutting down that like 3-month journey or whatever it is to like, maybe you could get there in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Crazy. And then the more you see things like this from SpaceX, the more that it hits my mind that it's like possible. That's like not, when I was a kid and I was watching Star Trek, never would have thought of any of this. Yes, and I still am mad that we never got the hoverboard from Back to the Future, okay? That was supposed to be done in the year 2000.
I remember watching the Jetsons as a little kid thinking, oh, when I get older,
It's going to be so
I'm
cool.
going to have a spaceship to drive around in.
I thought we'd have a flying car.
No, I think this one's just...
No, this is the landing.
Yeah. This dot in the air is flying back towards the Earth at above the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And they're like, what would be cooler is if we could just catch it with chopsticks.
Yeah.
And it's coming in totally sideways right now. At least it looks that way.
Yeah, so it's like coming in like flat.
Well, it's still way up there.
Oh, yeah.
Is it falling back through its own exhaust? Is that what that was? Or was that a cloud?
I don't know.
I think it was a cloud.
Huh.
But yeah, just like a big cigarette coming down.
Started its burn. What's crazy is it looks like the whole bottom of the rocket's on fire.
It does look like
Yeah.
that.
But it lands perfectly in this tower, and it's like with touch, like
Yeah.
with finesse it does it too. It doesn't like slam into the tower and it's like looks like it'd be a rough landing. It looks like it just was perfect.
Yeah, very gentle, very...
Considering how heavy that thing must be.
The heavy rocket from SpaceX is the biggest rocket ever. Like, and the reason it's so big is because they want to go to Mars. So you're going to have a huge rocket. Isn't that crazy? When we're looking at it take off from the tower, the black part of that rocket is the very tip of it is basically where you sit, and everything else in that is an explosive, highly flammable. They're like, yeah, let's just shoot it up into space. I'm glad it's on our side.
Yeah, me too.
I was working this last week, and I think they were doing a flyby for probably the hockey game or something. So the Air Force was like circling.
Yeah, 3 F-35s.
The F-35s, yeah. And when I heard it the first time, I was like, we live far enough away from the Air Force Base that we don't hear those very often. When I heard it, I'm like, definitely sounds military.
Yeah.
And then I went out and looked out my front window just because I wanted to see it. And I had that thought when it flew past the window. I'm like, thank God those are on our side, dude.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine being in a war and knowing that that's gonna come after you.
Yeah.
No thanks.
But it was for the Utah inaugural or their first home game.
Yep. I don't want to go to that yet because I wanted to let everybody know. I don't know if you'll be able to see it by Wednesday, so maybe it'll be disappointing everybody. Oh, well, I'll tell you anyway. I hope you get to see the comet that you can see with your naked eye outside the West Valley. It's going to appear like
What night
Just
is
after
that?
sunset tonight.
just like I think it was 7:15 last night, so it'll probably be a little bit later because it's getting further away now, so it's be harder to see. But you can see it with the naked eye. A bunch of pictures were posted on Reddit. And don't worry if you don't catch it this time because it'll be back in 80,000 years if nothing gets in the way to put its trajectory into something else.
Yeah.
So you'll never see it again. That's what I'm getting at. But the hockey club,
Yeah,
I think they're going to do what Real did, dude. Real
Hockey
came.
club.
We got the soccer team.
Mhm.
The first season they played, they won the championship.
No,
Didn't they?
no.
I thought it was the first season.
It may have been their first season
Or here?
in Sandy
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
because they'd played for a number of years up
Okay.
at Rice Eccles.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that they had played there before. But that kind of put them on the map. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the hockey club goes all the way, it's going to put them on the map.
Hockey
Yeah.
club.
Utah Hockey Club, the hockey team's here playing
Oh.
games. Yeah.
Yeah, we stole the Coyotes.
Yep.
We stole them.
Well, we bought them.
Bottom.
Yeah. And you know what? Dude, how much should I say? I think that the Delta Center and buying all of that team, number one, it's cost a lot of money, I'm sure. But to get people excited about hockey, they've been spending a lot of money. And I think if you're a Jazz player right now, you probably feel like, yo, what the hell? You didn't fly F-35s over for us, back in the day.
Or did they have a flyover?
I don't know if they did or not.
Or
But
was that even a
I just
thing back-
imagine that like the Jazz are like, yeah, this is cool. You guys are excited about the hockey team. We're still doing the same thing we've done for way longer than that, or whatever. It just makes you feel like they're getting special treatment right now. I'm sure it's a big workplace point of tension.
Yeah.
Because if I was a Jazz player, I'd probably feel the same way. Like, well, the focus is on the hockey team right now. That's all I have.
Go Mets.
Go Mets. Sorry about your Royals bet.
I know that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
At least the Mets are there.
The Mets are there. They play tonight.
You guys deserve it because the Mets. To be a Mets fan, you got to be a real fan.
I am a real fan.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like they haven't had much luck.
I know they haven't.
That'd be crazy if it was the Mets and the Yankees.
That would be crazy. You
Yeah.
would see a very crazy Laura.
Maybe we'll watch one of the games on an episode or something. We get
Yeah.
crazy, Laura. You do go kind of crazy because you start standing up and
I
getting
do.
involved,
Yeah, I
and
do.
yeah,
I love baseball.
yeah, I do too. I'm sad that it's coming to an end,
Me too.
but this is the most exciting part.
It
right?
is, yeah. And like I said, tonight's 6:15, game one.
All right.
Dodgers.
Dang it,
The Guardians are playing the Yankees.
nice.
I should watch that. I like the Guardians.
Well, this has been your weekly insult. I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Got a busy day ahead of me though.
What do you got to do today?
Well, I was gonna try and hit lunch with some people, and then I gotta do band later. It's just like a day. Day of stuff.
Still can't believe that AI.
I want to go watch baseball now, though.
Yeah, I'm done.